6 shocks, but still 172 horsepower. So still fits.
Yeah, so it's just basically
Base model car wide with big horsepower.
okay.
All right, it's 10:01. Welcome everybody. My name is Kasia Trojanowska. I'm a Parks Planning Manager in the city of Carlsbad. And this is a pre-bid meeting for Poinsettia Community Park Phase 4, Dog Park, Restroom and Parking Lot. And before we start, can I ask everybody to mute yourself except the person that has the speaking role in this presentation. All right, I think everybody have an agenda, so we're gonna just go right to it. I would start with introduction. We have our city staff present. We have Tim Selke, Park Services Manager, Bart Kennedy, Park Planner, who is also a project manager for design phase of this project. We have Steve Didier, Municipal Project Manager, Graham Jordan, Contract Administrator, JT Barr with Schmidt Design, who was a lead designer on the project. And we have Robert Polly, Senior Construction Manager with Schneider CM, our construction management consultant who will be day-to-day manager of the construction phase of this project, and Robert Lyles, construction manager, also with Schneider CM. So that's it for introduction. And now we're gonna move to the project overview. So JT, you can, I don't know if you have slides to share.
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect. Do this properly. All right. Good morning, everyone. My name is JT Barr. I'm a principal and landscape architect with Schmidt Design Group. I want to give you a quick overview of the scope of work of the project. The two red boxes illustrate that scope of work. The improvements are directly off the main entry into the park. We have a parking lot and comfort station and a dog park with plaza and facilities to the south, and they're separated by an existing sidewalk and plaza located at that main entry to the park. We have some existing improvements that are directly adjacent to the park. We have brand new pickleball courts that were installed as a part of phase 3 improvements, existing tennis courts, and then, as I mentioned, we have the existing plaza. There are existing basketball courts adjacent to the dog park, and then we have a baseball diamond that's located just to the south of the dog park. From a civil perspective, we're adding the new parking lot. We have 2 curb cuts accessing the main access drive, the new comfort station and surrounding hardscape improvements, and the water quality treatment basin with some supporting retaining walls that are located in this location, which ultimately connect between the pickleball and basketball courts, as we see on this match line connecting north to the primary connection into the street. The comfort station, as it was identified in the bid documents, will be purchased by the city, but the ultimate utility connections, construction, and final delivery of the structure are the responsibility of the contractor. As we move to the south, we have the dog area. Sounds like someone needs to mute. Do we have everyone mute? Thank you. There we go. No problem. So to the dog area that's to the south, there's the existing sort of crisscrossing walkways, which we have a new connection to a pathway that leads to the dog area and a plaza with shade structure, drinking fountains, and picnic areas. The dog run is located here with fencing around the perimeter. As I mentioned, we're around a lot of existing improvements. It will be very important to protect those in place. We also have, in this particular location of the park, a lot of existing mature trees that we've worked to avoid grading in and around, and those will be protected throughout the duration of construction. From an electrical perspective, we'll be lighting all of the new facilities. We will have pedestrian and parking lot lighting. There will be a new service or transformer for the comfort station, along with the supporting controls and pedestals. Lighting will also be installed around the perimeter of the dog run or dog area. And there will be lockable power outlets located adjacent to the plaza. There will also be a new home run pole through existing conduits down to the existing comfort station that's located in the southern end of the park. Talked about most of the hardscape improvements pathways throughout. We will also have EV charging stations that will be a part of the parking lot improvements. And then we will be reinstalling this portion of the walkway adjacent to the curb cut entrances into the driveway. As I mentioned, we have the plaza and the off-leash gated areas entering in. There are also a few concrete picnic pad opportunities throughout the dog area. There's new water line that will be run supporting quick couplers for potable water for wash down of those areas and supporting the new drinking fountains that will be located in the plaza. We have a low retaining wall that is adjacent to our second water quality treatment basin. This basin will ultimately pipe an outlet to the existing trunk line within the park in this location. There are also a series of seat walls located throughout these two along the edge of the dog park. As you can see, the grade falls from high to the north to low to the south. So there will be some contour grading and sloping that occurs as a part of these improvements. Let's see. So irrigation improvements will be occurring within all of the new areas of improvements. Repair will occur along all of our edges where we are budding existing improvements. All of the irrigation is reclaimed water. So we will be utilizing recycled water on the project that is already existing throughout the park. The dog run is turf and will be irrigated. And then we also have our primary mainline point of connection, which will extend beyond the driveway through the parking lot and connecting just downstream of the primary point of connection and pump station at the park. And then we have planting that will occur again in all of these new improvements, both shade trees, shrubs, and ground covers. And I believe that captures an overall view of the scope of work, and I'd be happy to have the city or my team jump in if there are any major components that I missed.
We're also providing a shade structure over the dog park plaza at the central piece.
Correct. Thank you, Parker.
Yep.
There's a 4-post shade sail which is located over the primary plaza.
Okay, Graham, do you want to go over the engineer's estimate?
Yeah, hi everyone. I am Graham Jordan, the contract administrator for this project. Most of the stuff is pretty straightforward. It's all in the notice inviting bids. The engineer's estimate is $1,882,000 $1,206. Obviously, Public Works, prevailing wages required, certified payroll will be required. I did want to go over the licensing requirements. I've had a number of inquiries about that so far. We are not going to change the licensing requirement. It will require an A general engineering license. I believe there might be, I think because of the restroom portion of the work, there's I think there's some that are wondering if a B license is acceptable, but it's only a portion of the work in the grander scheme of things. As I said, we've had discussions about it, and the prime contractor will have to have an A license and do 50% of the work with their own forces. So again, the rest of it is pretty straightforward, all in the documents. Please be sure you go through them all. The construction times, there is residential areas around there, so 7 to 4 I think is actually pretty generous. 200 working days. The low bid is based on Schedule A. And then again, like I mentioned briefly about the Romtech restroom and trellis, and I think there's others that could speak more accurately to that. But Barb, it's prefabricated, right? It's all in the documents.
Yeah, it's not prefabricated, but it's all the components will come together. So Romtech puts together all the building materials, and then that's delivered on the site, and the contractor will be responsible for constructing that.
Very good. Very good. Okay. Thank you. So during the bidding phase, our cutoff for questions is February 9th. So that gives you plenty of time between now and then to make sure you review the documents, get us any questions or any clarifications that you would like. Please send all of those questions directly to me. And then, yeah, I'll make sure that they get answered. The addendum that we'll post the clarifications and the answers to those questions will be posted by February 16th. And the bid opening date is February 23rd at 11 a.m. I say bid opening, it's submittals are due by then. Since it's all done electronically, there is no official bid opening as such. And to that point, I would like to remind everyone that you need to be registered with Planet Bids in order to submit. Make sure that you're registered now, ideally, to get any updates that we do. You'll get notified if we post an addendum or any information. We do often send out email correspondence with our bids. And finally, I know we'll get a lot of questions about this being a mandatory pre-bid meeting. There is a certification form that you will be required to submit with your bid, so that those that couldn't attend live today will be able to view the recording of it and still submit a bid. So there's a certification form. I don't remember exactly which page it is, but it's in the notice of inviting bids in the front end document of the specifications. And everyone will have to fill that out. So there won't be a list of people that attended the pre-bid meeting today. And you just need to fill out that certification form. That's all we require. So I think that's everything from me.
I have a quick question on the certification form. Is that going to be required from subcontractors as well, or just the prime?
Just the prime. All right, Barb.
Okay, Robert, do you want to go over the rest of the agenda, starting with number 4?
Absolutely. Okay, so good morning, everybody. I appreciate you being here. This should be a great project. We just finished the first phase of it, and it turned out well. So this is completing the second phase of the poinsettia, actually doing the dog park. SWIP, an NOI is required. The city will be filing an NOI. It is your responsibility to prepare a tier 3 SWIP plan. And all BMPs are your responsibility, and we will be checking them. The city is very adamant about their SWIP. So just be aware of that, especially on this project. Permits, city, county, and state permits, fees, and licensing are your responsibility as required. So if the shade structures or the building requires a permit, you will be required to pull that. OSHA standards obviously will apply. As far as submittals will come to us, to Schneider Sam, Robert Lyles, or myself. Again, we'll expect you to do a submittal log and prepare it. So again, everything, we expect you to install per plans and specs. If there are some items that you want changed for consideration, submit it now, because we don't want to do it after the project is awarded. Public and worker safety, as Graham said, the park is open and will remain open. So it's important that you realize that this park will be operational throughout the entire project. No storage of hazardous materials on site. Trench safety per OSHA standards. Again, one of the things that we have to deal with now in our new reality is the COVID-19 considerations. So just be aware of that. Also, we will be requesting a project-specific safety plan that you will run. We will also look at safety, but it'll be your responsibility. Third-party testing and inspections. The city will provide third-party testing and inspections. You will coordinate through us so that we ensure you're not calling inspections for undue reasons. So third-party inspections will be through the city. Job site access and staging areas. What we will request from you once you are awarded the project is a laydown plan telling us where you want to do your staging areas. You will also have to do haul routes in and out of the city that will be submitted and approved. We'll provide fencing and sanitation facilities and a on-site trailer, a Class A field office required for us and for you, and for us to hold our weekly meetings. We hope that this COVID gets released and we can actually start meeting face to face at some time this year. And again, we will be holding weekly meetings, so make sure you guys account for that. Other considerations, as we talked about, park will remain open during construction hours or during construction. So just be aware of that. You will have people walking and kids playing and dogs running. And so just be aware that that'll happen. During the summer, we do have special events during the summer. We have our TGIF Friday concerts. And during that time, we restrict construction to 12 o'clock, and it's on Friday afternoons. So again, I don't think it's going to be a big impact. Pre-bid substitution request may be submitted with, as I talked about. So again, if you want to submit something as an alternate, do it now for us to look at. We won't consider it after we award the project. And as Graham said, number 12, submit questions in writing to Graham Jordan. So if you have any issues or concerns or questions, submit them to Graham.
Can I just jump in there real quick, Robert?
Yes.
Because I think there's 2 email addresses for me. We've got the generic one for Public Works Contract Admin at the top. I didn't catch that, so my bad. But
PW
use the one. Yeah, use the one on section 12 there. That's a direct one for me.
Okay. Okay, so with that, I don't have anything else. I think this should be a great project. Like I said, we just finished the other project. It turned out well. In fact, we submitted it to APWA and CMAA, and it won an award for both APWA and CMAA. So we expect to do the same for this one as well. Barb, back to you.
Okay, does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, I have a brief question. There is security shown on this job in terms of cameras and whatnot, but there's no spec section for that. Is that going to be part of this bid, or is there? Do you already have someone online that's doing the camera work?
Yeah, so you're going to be required to put in the conduit for the cameras, but the city contracts directly with our vendor and they do the camera installation.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
I had a question that kind of came up when you're talking about the permits by the contractor. What about for the ROMTech building? Are those also going to be paid for by the contractor, or is that something that's being handled by the city for the owner supplied ROMTech building?
Yeah, there is no fees for the permits. The building permits are already approved, as well as the grading permits. There's a few items that are deferred submittals that the contractor will be responsible for, but you know, for the most part, permits are ready to go.
Perfect, thank you.
Anyone else? Okay. Well, I think that concludes our pre-bid meeting today. Steve, Didier, are you there? Did you have anything else to add? It looks like Steve's not there. Okay, well, thank you all for participating, and we look forward to seeing your bids. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Barb.